All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, September 22nd. We have just a 3-game MLB slate to dive into in today's video, like we always do. I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games, so all 3 of them. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like in the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That's where you'll find all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. Let's go ahead and dive into this. We did not have a video yesterday, so no recap from Sunday, and Saturday's recap was rough. We had, I think it was 5 or 6 plays out, and only one of them came through, so let's own the womp womp there. We don't have the graphic, but I also don't want to act like we're avoiding it, right? That was a really, really bad Saturday there. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into game number 1 here. Like I said, guys, only 3 games on the slate, so this will probably be a quicker video than normal. But still, maybe we can find a couple good spots here with these 3 games. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into it. We got the Braves taking on the Nats here in this spot. Chris Sale on the bump going up against Mackenzie Gore. Chris Sale coming off of a really good start, and guess what? It was against this very Nationals team. He went 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned, 9 strikeouts. The Braves won that game 5-0 in extra innings. Oh, and then you look at Mackenzie Gore. Who was he last pitching against? In that exact same game, we saw Mackenzie Gore pitch pretty well as well. 0 earned, 5 Ks, just 2 hits through 5 1/3. And again, same game. Braves won it in extras 5-0 there. So where do we turn in this one? Well, this Braves team is on absolute fire, right? I want to say they've won, is it 10 of their last 11? Something like that. They've been absolutely going off, right? And Washington has lost 8 of their last 10. That said, they did take games 2 and 3 against the Mets, so maybe they're feeling kind of good about themselves or something like that. But you got to ride with the hotter team here. But that Braves price at -267 is a little crazy, obviously. So we decided to do some more digging, kind of go in 2 weirder directions here. So it's going to be the nerfy. Kind of like the idea of Mackenzie Gore in this spot. Even though this Braves team hits lefties really well, he did look good against them, last time out, and I think that says a lot. He's going to throw a ton of fastballs. It's not like that's their absolute best pitch. Hoping that he can kind of mix in a good slider in the cutter, because that should work. But let's just get through the top of the order for Mackenzie Gore, right? That would be great. Because on the flip side, we have Chris Sale, and this is a Washington team, as of right now, dead last in nearly every single category when it comes to against lefties over the last 30 days, and they're gonna see a ton of sliders out of Chris Sale. We know that. A ton of fastballs. Realistically, the only 2 pitches we have to worry about, and there's only one guy in the lineup, Josh Bell, obviously a good hitter, but one guy in the lineup that hits the slider well. Everyone else struggling against it. So I like the idea of Sale coming in here, getting the first 3 batters out, and then hoping Mackenzie Gore can do the same thing. Now, you'll also see another way we kind of went around getting to the Braves here, because again, they are by far and away the better team. Chris Sale to record the win. You can get that for -112 right now. This dude is due. I think he has 4 or 5 straight starts in which he pitched pretty decently and didn't end up recording the win. And then I guess you could say most notably, like I mentioned, he pitched 8 shutout innings in that last game against Washington, and it was 0-0 when he left, and they ended up winning it in extras. You're telling me that guy is not due for a win, so give me both of those spots. And honestly, even out of the 3 games today, those both have a decent chance of being a final play. Next up, we have the Padres taking on the Brewers here in this spot. Padres, a wild card team. They're probably pretty secure in their spot right now. I think they're like 5 games up in the wild card. They're just only behind the Cubs, and the Brewers looking like they're good to go. I think they've already clinched right in their spot too. And guys, as we get late in the year, I should mention it more, doing my own due diligence, relaying it to you guys, that some of these games, like you talked about the Braves and Nats, like there is a level of maybe it doesn't matter, maybe the underdog wins or something like that, because the season's pretty much over for those squads. Both these teams, are still looking ahead to the playoffs and probably still want to round into form. And I think we have a very good matchup today, right? We have Nick Pivetta on the bump going up against Freddie Peralta. Pivetta over his last 5 starts at 1.8 ERA. Peralta 1.2. So maybe a pitcher's duel here in this spot. The one thing that I would say is I think you're getting too good of a price on the Brewers there. I know that this Padres team is obviously good and can hit righties really well. They're 6-4 in their last 10, as are the Brewers. Brewers are coming off a losing losing series against St. Louis. I think that this is a spot in which, Freddie Peralta can go out there and pitch well. Now, that also is a good call because he has pitched really well against this squad. 70 plate appearances against the current rosters, the guys that make up that roster in his career. He's got a 34.3% K rate, a 7.1% walk rate, 125 average against, and a 209 WOBA against with an expected slugging of 320. So I think Freddie Peralta can pitch fairly well. I will say, I think to some degree, and there's a lot of I think here because both pitchers are good, but I do think that this could be a spot in which we see some runs out of Milwaukee off of Pivetta, and they're going to hand the ball off to a pretty taxed bullpen, even though they're a really good bullpen. So that first 5 under 4.5 is me giving my flowers to Pivetta, knowing he's a really good pitcher, knowing he's been really, really good at home. But there is something in the back of my head saying, hey, this Brewers team might put up some runs here today. I mean, they're coming off of a series in which they looked terrible, right? They scored 1-3 and 1 run. Like, they may be ready to go here. And Pivetta faced them earlier in the year, right? And actually, no, I don't think Pivetta faced them, but Peralta did. And he allowed 0 runs through 6 innings. Maybe that happens again. Last time Pivetta faced this squad, it was when he was with Boston, 2024. 3 1/3 pitch, 7 hits, 5 earned. This Brewers team wasn't even as good as they are now back then. So something to consider there. I would say I'm ranking Brewers for the plus money as the main lean. And then that first 5 under, I do like. There's more there that gets me to that spot. But there is a little bit of something in the back of my head saying, hey, if the Brewers open this thing up, it wouldn't be like incredibly surprising. You know what I mean? Hey guys, real quick, wanted to let you know that we have new stuff in the Fade Me store. You can see the Gambler Football 2025 collection there. 4 items, a premium crew neck, a premium hoodie, the hoodie's embroidered, and we also have a rope hat as well as a mesh trucker hat there. Really cool stuff. I'm obviously rocking last year's drops or a couple different drops that we have, but I'm loving the new stuff we dropped. Head over to fademe.store or guybostonsports.com/store. They both take you to the same storefront and pick up some merch. I absolutely love it when my phone dings, so that dings every single time we get an order if I have the phone on loud, which sometimes I do, and I absolutely love it when it's ding ding. You guys make my absolute day. This is legitimate quality. You can see it here. You can see it here, guys. Go ahead and check it out. Again, fademe.store or guybostonsports.com/store. Next up, we have the Giants taking on the Cardinals, and am I crazy for thinking this? But check this out. Look at these. These logos are eerily similar. It's like mirrored of one of another if you flip the Giants one upside down. Anyways, that's just my weird brain in action. We have the Giants taking on the Cardinals. I can't believe I've never noticed that before. Right now, Giants favored at, minus 148, which I do think is fair. You have Verlander going up against Michael McGreevy. Not exactly the biggest McGreevy fan, but I'll be honest, 2 decent starts from him in a row against Seattle and Cincinnati. But Verlander, for the last, 3 or 4 starts, has been untouchable, and one of those games was against this squad in which he pitched 6 scoreless innings with 6 strikeouts. So I do think that Verlander's got the upper edge in this spot, so I'm going to lean towards the Giants. Neither one of these squads I'm all that thrilled to back right now. 3-7 in their last 10 are the Giants. 4-6 in their last 10 are the Cards. They were the team that beat, Milwaukee in that series, so maybe the Cardinals are finding something. I'm kind of wanting to hit the pause button and say, hey, we'll wait and see before we get there, because this is a Justin Verlander this year that's been decent at home, right? Average against in the 250s. So when I said decent, he's got a FIP of 3.5. But my big thing here is going to throw fastball, slider, curveball. Fastball, 24th is where the Cardinals rank last 30 days and runs above average. Slider, 20th. The curveball, okay, 12th, kind of middle of the pack. But flip it over to McGreevy, who's actually been really good on the road, but has struggled against lefties. There's a few lefties in this lineup. Devers, Jung-Hoo Lee. And this is a Giants team that's hitting right-handed pitching fairly well. And in the last 30 days, hitting right-handed pitching at a top 5 clip at home against righties. So yeah, I do hitting right-handed pitchers against righties. Makes sense. But I do think that this is a spot in which the Giants probably deserve that price tag. So I lean towards them, but I think Verlander can pitch fairly well in this spot. So I'm going to lean towards that St. Louis team total under, which let's get an updated line for that as of right now, because this total has been moving around, which obviously impacts the home and away team. So yeah, under 4.5 right now is minus 175. That's a little juicy, but for plus money, well, even odds, plus 100, you can get under 3.5 over on FD right now. That's something that I could get behind, I think. So we'll see. We obviously only have 3 games, and I don't want to do too much, but I think that we have some spots today with just a 3-game slate. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. If you guys made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment 9. You made it just about, or I think over 9 minutes in. Really do appreciate everyone tuning in. We also have our Monday Night Football video live on the channel here. Hopefully we can do a little bit better than Sunday. We went 2-5 in our official plays, but the annoying part is that we had a lot of leans that I was so close to pressing the button on and didn't. That came through. So felt like we saw the board well, but don't have nothing to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.